what am I doing here?
You know what's funny about this day and age? I don't know if funny is the word. Maybe it's sad. Maybe it is funny. Maybe it's all these things. I don't know, but something I've found about me in this day and age, and maybe you found this about you, is I don't trust anything anymore. Anything that comes from official sources. Nothing that comes out of the system do I trust it. I feel like I'm being lied to at all times, manipulated at all times, and I feel like the stories that get ignored are the real important stories. And the stories we talk about, not that they're not important, but they're not the biggest deal in the world. For instance, do you remember Joe Biden's vehicles burning in Nantucket? In case you forgot, and just stay with me for a second, I'm going somewhere with this. Joe Biden is well known as someone who goes to Nantucket. I've been there once. It's an island off the Massachusetts, I think, wherever. It's an island in the Atlantic Ocean somewhere. It's very, very nice. It's apparently where a bunch of rich people go. I went there for a couple days one time. I was finishing a book. One of my business partners works there. It was very nice. It was very clearly a place where rich people go. Probably not necessarily my speed, but it was very nice. The Biden family's famous for going there. They rent these very expensive multi-million-dollar homes, and they just live it up. They've been doing this for years. In fact, the house we rented when we were there had a little picture of Joe Biden over the toilet in Nantucket. Probably a good place for him. Anyway, but Joe Biden, last time he went to Nantucket, after he left, not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 vehicles that he had rented while he was there went up in flames. We mentioned it on the show. It was brief, but it was also odd. Now, we've all heard of a vehicle going up in flames. God forbid you were involved in one of those, but we've all had it. We've all had a crappy car when we were younger that was smoking on the side of the road, and we've seen them as we drive by on the highway. Vehicles go up in flames. I get that, but 5 of them? That's not something that happens. Oh, they were parked close together. I saw the video. They weren't parked that close together. 5 vehicles went up in flames. And because no one went anywhere with it, we didn't go anywhere with it, but a car going up in flames is always one of 3 things. You talk to any cop, he'll tell you it was either A, something mechanically wrong, that counts, an accident counts as that, B, an insurance job, or C, someone covering up a crime. It's only one of 3 things when a car goes up in flames. And I don't think it was an insurance job, and there wasn't any wreck. So, boy, that only leaves us with 1. And the reason I bring all this up now is Joe Biden, he goes to Delaware a lot. A lot. Now, it doesn't really matter if you're one of the communists who hate watch the show, or you're one of the people who watch the show because you agree with a lot of what we talk about here. None of this really matters at all. This is a fact, what I'm about to tell you. Joe Biden and the Biden family have a lot of very questionable connections, business-wise. I don't care who you are. I don't care if he's your favorite guy. If you got a Biden sticker on your car, it looks really bad. Joe Biden's history with China, with Russia, with Ukraine, the Biden family connections, it all looks really, really bad. And when you combine that with the fact that Joe Biden has been on vacation for 40% of his presidency, and much of that vacation time is Joe Biden going home to Delaware, that gets really interesting when you now know that they don't keep logs. They say there are no logs of who he met with in Delaware. Now, I want you to understand it's important you understand a couple things right now, because otherwise you'll just read that headline and we'll talk about it for a couple hours and then we'll move right along. A couple things about the visitor logs. 1, White House visitor logs, as you probably already know, are a thing, and they're a thing for a reason. You, the American citizen, because you don't have a king, you have a president, a servant supposedly of the people, you have a right to know who is showing up at the White House to meet with the President of the United States of America. The President of the United States of America doesn't really get to meet with people at the White House because it's the people's house, it doesn't belong to him. He doesn't get to meet at the White House with secret people. No. You have a right as an American citizen to know who Joe Biden is meeting with. So combine that with this little number. You don't just get to walk in and meet with the president like you would, say, me. If you ever see me out and about at a Red Lobster or something, you ever see me in an airport or something, you'll notice you can and should walk right up to me and say hi. I like to meet people. I like to shake hands. I like to hang out with normal people. You can't do that with the President of the United States for security reasons. If you want to be in the same room as the President of the United States of America, you got to get checked out. I had to go to Mar-a-Lago about 6 months ago for something, and Trump was going to be there. No, I didn't meet him. We didn't hang out or anything like that, but he was going to be there. He was going to be in the same room. I had to submit all my information months ahead of time so the Secret Service could check me out. There are records of who's been meeting with Joe Biden in Delaware, and yet they tell us there aren't records. I know there are records because these things must be investigated beforehand. You don't just get to show up, hi, my name's Mr. Chin, I'm from China, I'd like to sit down with Joe. Is he free for lunch today? No, that's not how it works. He has to have been checked out. Yet, apparently they didn't keep the records. And now you're seeing what I've been telling you over and over again. You only know all of this stuff about the records, about the classified documents because of Joe Biden's own people. Remember, it's his lawyers, it's his staffers that keep discovering these things. Why do his own people keep discovering these things? They keep discovering these things because Joe Biden is an incoherent, rambling mess, and they want the guy gone, and this is simply the leverage they're going to use to get him gone.
If you live in one of those neighborhoods and you have the same exact car I have in the other neighborhood, you pay more for your insurance than that side. No basis for it, none at all, other than you're black and I'm white.
That's not true at all. Not only shame on Joe Biden, shame on the Democrats for spreading filth like that, shame on every single American citizen who's too stupid to look into that and find out that that's an outright lie. So hungry to be a victim that you can't spend 5 minutes looking into that and figuring out it's a lie. It's shame on all of you. But either way, that's not a winning campaign message. Joe Biden is a bad politician now. He always has been. But now that he's a walking cadaver, there's just nothing left in Joe Biden but lies and venom. Lies and venom. And this is part of the reason they keep discovering these documents. They want Joe Biden out. They believe it's Gavin Newsom time. Joe Biden has to go.